Welcome back to the FAL NFT Podcast. Today is October 27th, 2021, and on this show, we're going to be covering all things non-fungible. In other words, NFTs. I'm Jeff. I'm a cryptocurrency trader and an NFT consultant at FAL.
I'm Drew. I'm a cryptocurrency consultant and a photographer at FAL.
All right, so first things first, we're going to get into the top 3 sales of the week. And at number 1 for $2.01 million, we got CryptoPunk number 1422, equivalent to 500 ETH, which is insane. That's next level. I mean, we should be used to it. I'm not shocked. Number 2, we got Bankrupt, which is $1.91 million, equivalent to 469 Ethereum. And then number 3, we got CryptoPunk 4992. which is equivalent to 450 ETH or $1.79 million. The coolest thing about CryptoPunks, in my opinion, is the Larva Lab site marketplace. I was thinking for months that people just weren't listing their punks and they were only accepting offers. But the Larva Lab site, larvalabs.com, looks really cool. Like they built their own marketplace. They get their own.
And I think it's also
liquidity
like
and
exclusivity.
And it's exclusivity. And really, it's been around for a while. I know it's not typical for what the regular profile picture projects do, but I just thought that was a really cool little feature that they've had. I mean, I should have really known about it, and I feel embarrassed saying on an NFT podcast that I didn't really realize how much of the volume from CryptoPunks goes to Lava Labs. Well, we're going to be going into 3 topics today. Number 1, we got Playboy Rabbitar NFTs. Number 2, we got VV partners with Disney. Number 3, money laundering in the NFT space. So, first things first, we're going to go through the Playboy Rabbitar NFTs. So, Playboy Rabbitar is Playboy's first official NFT, which is...
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think it was definitely bound to happen. Especially because, like sex sells and Playboy is a brand. It's a huge brand that's kind of, been around forever. And I think having these types of collectibles, and especially considering like when you went on their website, they said you could, in parentheses, they said that you could call yourself a member of a Playboy club finally. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of like what they bring to the table with this. And really like looking at like some of the things that they're going to be having, like there's a wide variety of features, like 175 plus traits. So that's a decent amount of traits too, man.
No, that's pretty good. I mean, I've seen more on some projects. That's definitely a solid point to start with. The collection there's going to be 11,953 unique non-fungible rabbits, Playboy iconography, heritage, and lore. So each Rabbitar, I guess, is going to get you access to certain... They haven't really said. Like, they really have not given us much on that part. They hinted at a party that might be going on later this season in the
on their
city, New York City, to speak of.
They want to do it. Part of what they want to do too is like some sort of metaverse. So I'm very interested to see like what that really comes out to be, and the decisions they make there on that path to getting to it. What does a certain trait give you? What is it like? What does it mean? What's the value of certain traits? So it's going to be very interesting to see.
I think the easiest way to sell them out would be say, we're having a party at the Playboy Mansion, and if you have one, you'll be able to show up. And I think they'll all be gone before I finish the sentence.
So as you just said that, I'm on their website, right, guys? So 2022 and beyond, it does say on their like roadmap. Stay tuned for the Journey Ahead Part 2. Welcome to the Meta Mansion.
Maybe a metaverse Playboy Mansion, which will be pretty sick.
You could get people on that, man. You could get people to buy that. Like all these metaverses are only going to become more and more common as tech gets better and better, honestly. Like as we get more and more powerful computers, it's just going to become more accessible and cheaper for more and more people to get involved.
Now you're seeing more and more 3D artists, more people getting into the space, companies getting into the space especially. So I think the metaverse space is going to be a big marketing opportunity for all these brands, especially Playboy Rabbitars. Another one that's kind of similar to Playboy is Hustler Mag. Hustler Magazine cartoon artist for over 30 years launched his own NFT
Wow.
last week. So that also did remarkably well, top 10 in volume. Let me get the exact numbers for you guys, as my laptop struggles to load. Also, Jungle Freaks by Trustly. The floor is right now 1.26 ETH. There's 5.8K owners, 10,000 in the collection. Volume was 3,400, and I think they launched about 7 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So it's a lot of Ethereum moving, a lot of people interested. 12 days ago, I'm sorry, almost 2 weeks ago. But same kind of idea. Hustler Mag is kind of like competition for Playboy. Not really. This isn't an official Hustler Mag NFT or anything like that. But just to forecast where the Playboy NFTs might go, I think a 1 ETH floor is not crazy talk, especially when you talk to these NFT people and where their heads are at with the floor prices and how much they're willing to actually spend on these things. It's pretty remarkable.
It's going to be, I mean, part of it too is it's smart branding, it's smart marketing. Like, these are not just projects that kind of provide some type of experience or use case scenario or entry to a club of some sort. They also are great marketing tools for companies. So I think, like, I mean, think about it. A product that you make once and then it markets itself just based on its scarcity, its collectability. Like, it's going to be a smart business move for a lot of companies. And I think the space is eventually, just like, you know, we think of hyper Bitcoin as just like eventually we think of hyper Bitcoinization, you know, an inflection point where we might eventually flip over to cryptocurrency instead of the traditional fiat system. I think there's going to be a point of inflection in NFTs where a lot of companies just start running at it. And I think it's going to be quicker than people realize. I don't know if we're there yet. And I think it's probably likely going to happen more after regulatory clarity is provided. But I think it'll be more and more brands will enter it. It'll be like a windfall, you know, when it does happen.
No, I 100% agree with you there. I think the domino effect has already started, though. That's the one point of it. Disney is now getting into the space, which is really awesome. They partnered with VV Collectibles, so now they're going to be launching Disney-themed NFTs, which is, like you said, it's a great marketing opportunity. You're going to have Star Wars NFTs. You're also going to have Pixar, Buzz Lightyear, all these. I'm pumped up over that Buzz Lightyear trailer, by the way. So really pumped up about Buzz. I'm a big Toy Story guy personally, so.
No, that's going to be really cool. The animation looks great. I think, the Disney getting into this is, I think you're right. It is definitely a catalyst, just because Disney's one of the largest, most synonymous brands in the world, and they have characters that everybody knows and loves and appreciates, especially from a young age. And I think Disney getting involved, they're one of the best marketers there are. Think about it, they're a movie company that has amusement parks. Like, I mean,
amusement parks, news stations, they own everything. So there's one company you want getting into an industry that you're in, it's Disney.
No, it's true, because they'll find a way to make it real too. I think, like, once Disney does it, it'll be real to a lot of other companies. Like, well, people see Disney do it and they're like, oh, we can do, like, okay,
we have to do it.
Yeah, we either have to or we can. Yeah, man. Like, a lot of it, with larger companies, it's gonna be we have to. You're right. It really is. I mean, like, the options are limitless, especially I think for, like, even like things with toy related brands and like NFTs connected to toys, NFTs that come in, like, who knows, bro? You know, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but one day you remember when we were kids, we used to you used to have a chance of getting like something rare in your cereal box, right? One day they might give out an NFT, a wallet, a wallet address or something with the seed phrase. And then maybe you get that on your cereal box. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but like those types of things just could be possible. You know, I think it's gonna be more entrenched in our everyday life than people realize. That's more what I'm trying to say.
And I agree with you there, because there's nothing easier to show off than an NFT. Because I could show somebody the NFT that I just bought today at 2:00, and guess who else is gonna see it? So maybe somebody from China, maybe somebody from Australia, maybe somebody from Italy, maybe somebody from Canada. It doesn't matter. Like, it's such an instant thing, as opposed to if I get like a little baseball card or something like that. Yeah, I could put it on the internet, but it's not really the official same thing. You know what I mean? I could link the NFT that I have back to the wallet that I own and prove to people that I actually do own it, which is going to be the future of it. Twitter's doing it now. Coinbase is doing an NFT social / marketplace platform. So who knows where this is all going to go? I don't. But I know that Disney Plus Day is November 12th. So I'm assuming that they're probably going to be doing this sometime in the near future.
Yeah, I from what I was reading on the Medium post by Vivi, it seemed like they're planning some type of release before the 12th, basically, either around or before. So yeah, right, yeah. I think it'll just be a matter of time. I'm very interested.
The Vivis are so cool. I have a couple. I have a Harley Quinn, and I got the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's sick.
Which is awesome. They were fully AR, VR. I could take pictures of them on the floor over here, and it actually look like they're on the floor over here.
No, that's
it's like an
cool,
extended
bro.
version of Photoshop almost.
Yeah, no, that's fucking cool, man. Like these things are kind of like it really does bring collectibles into a world where it's like, as we go more and more digital and we see more and more digital spaces opening up, people are going to need digital things to put in those spaces. And if people can actually verify that, like, hey, this is my, like, you know, this is this specific one from this collection on the blockchain, and it's in my digital whatever, home, whatever, you know, there's a lot of people who are going to see a value in that, especially as we spend, you know, potentially start spending more and more time digitally in these things.
No, that's the thing. I mean, everybody's going to eventually need some kind of digital identity, I believe, especially whether it's where you work. I think going to work could end up being in the metaverse one day too.
Yeah, man. That's so true. Like I think so too. I think it'll, because why would you pay for an overhead that like when it's like you can just pay a one-time cost?
Yeah, especially if you could make sure that everybody's doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and you're not paying for, like, you know, think about it, like maintenance on the place. You're not doing, usually, of course, commercial spaces are rented, but if it's not, you know, and
electricity and all the other things that these business owners have to deal with.
Yep.
The digital aspect of it is a lot cheaper. It's faster. It's more convenient. I mean, yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to take as many vacations, but
yeah, and it's safer too, like in situations like COVID, you know. Like, it gives people a way to interact still in a way that when at times they weren't able to interact, you know, like in person. So I think it provides the happy medium that a lot of people may not be ready for yet, but I think we're heading towards that direction no matter what. I do think there's a lot of people who, like, especially older people, like, getting used to doing things in the metaverse is going to be very interesting. But I know me personally, man, like I'm down.
I think you're ready for it, and I think everybody that's younger than us is ready for it too. Yeah. So I think the future generations are going to be just fine. Kids are starting off with iPads at 2 now, so yeah, I don't think kids are going to worry about a digital world. Yeah, I think they'd rather have that.
They're just gonna hop in quicker than anybody else, man.
So the next thing I found really interesting was I was on Instagram the other day, actually, not watching, but somebody posted one of those Instagram reel stories about money laundering in the NFT space. And I remember a couple months ago when we were working, just doing our regular research, day-to-day crypto stuff. And I see CryptoPunks going for like astronomical amounts of money. Not saying that they're not worth that or anything like that. I don't want to disrespect anybody. But I was like, these are going for like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and nothing else is even coming. No, this is before apes really started to take off too. So it was way crazier to see them doing it. Because they were the first ones that really went full top off, melt everybody's faces, parabolic shit. And that's
no, I think it could be a potential vehicle. The issue is, I mean, I think it's a potential vehicle. But at the same time, it's like the current system already has methods for people to also money launder.
No, of course. So, every bank in the world does it.
Yeah. So I think it's an interesting challenge. Especially, I think the challenge like we're seeing now in the broader crypto space is going to come more on the exchanges. Like for example, Coinbase opening their own NFT exchange or whatever it may be, you know. I think a lot of those anti-money laundering potential future clauses, whatever that may be, I think it's going to come on the burden of the exchanges instead of the users. DEXs are going to be a little different, but at least with the centralized exchanges, and I do think we're going to start to see more and more centralized versions of like NFT exchanges too, just as more and more current players try and get in the space. I think it'll just keep it. They'll keep the burden on them mainly because it's easy. It's easier to target like a centralized exchange than something like OpenSea or a lot of other platforms that are a little harder for them to pinpoint and throw under any one specific legal jurisdiction.
Well, that's true. I mean, the real process of how people do it was that, say you buy an NFT for 10 Ethereum or 12 Ethereum or whatever you want to pay for it. Whatever. You make another wallet on MetaMask and you go and you accept an offer for less than you paid from your other wallet. Obviously, you need that money in the account to be able to set that offer. But then you go and you accept the offer and you claim a loss on your taxes, which is definitely not legal. Don't do it. I'm not saying this is the step-by-step to win in crypto. Do not do that. Because some blockchain tracks everything. So I don't know how they'll track you, but they will track you.
Yeah, they're hiring. The IRS has they're hiring like blockchain like scanning teams, and they're using software. And don't do this, guys. Because also morally, don't fuck the crypto community. Come on, guys. Like we're trying to build something. Like don't like remember we're all in this together. Like if we kind of want to just do this the right way, just because it's like this is something that's supposed to be better than the traditional systems we have. So it's just like and the more and more people do it, it just gives us a bad name.
No, it's very true. That's very, very, very true. It's just the real problem is that some people really have too much Ethereum. They don't want to pay the tax on it, and now it's true. Now it's a problem. So you're buying meaningless assets.
Yeah, no, it's true. And then their ETH is everywhere. I mean, this is it's definitely true. I mean, and I do think honestly, this is only the people that can only really logically do this are people with a lot of money or a lot of ETH.
People that need to do it at that point.
Yeah, because the only really the average NFT trader is probably not gonna. This is gonna be someone that already has a lot of money because you need to actively do it. It's not gonna be the average everyday Joe Schmo. It's gonna be mainly people that already have money and are really the tax burden is much higher. So I do think I think it's rarer than people think. But I do think it's going to be a problem as the industry grows, specifically with the regulators. Because I think they'll try and use it as a scapegoat for.
Of course, that'll be the easy umbrella to put on NFTs under. They're a scam. They're money laundering tools. But I do think, to circle back to Coinbase will fix a lot of that. Yes. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Coinbase's app is very updated from where it was when I started using it. Now you could buy coins with the Coinbase wallet that aren't on Coinbase. So it does operate like a DEX. It does operate like Uniswap or MetaMask in a sense. And then if you force people to use wallets where their names are attached to them, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the dilemma it'll kind of I think we're going to start to see more and more. Part of it is, I think, eventually also going to be determined of where the money for these NFT projects gets put into, and where these platforms that are decided to be used for these things. Like, for example, as we get more and more exchanges, if they place controls on the exchanges themselves, I think it'll be harder for people to get the funding they need to really do because that it could be also a way that they may go after it, is they make it a lot harder to get funding if you don't do it through a centralized exchange. That could be one of the other potential ways, but that would be pretty crazy.
I don't know if they could really do that, so to speak. You mean a collection?
Almost like, for example, like, okay, if you wanted to gain funding specifically for an NFT project, like if it's not through like a specific certified channel, you won't be able to gain like legitimate quote unquote funding. They could. I mean, regulators can even just make things look bad, and then places will be afraid. Companies will be afraid. So this is why it's like, I think if the community like kind of nips this in the butt, and it's hard because it's a growing community, it's a small community, so we're gonna keep having nonsense. But if the community nips it in the butt little by little, I think it's just gonna become less and less of an obvious problem, especially as more and more people understand blockchain. Like you're right, it's transparent. Like it's transparent. Like
the only reason why it's not is because some of the exchanges don't require you to provide KYC. So if you required KYC, well, Coinbase is really going to take a big step, and those million people that are coming onto the network, they're not strangers. They're KYC, real deal people that are legitimate investors. And that is where it's going to get cleaned. It's not going to happen overnight, but steps towards things like that and steps away from the MetaMask and those will always exist.
Yeah, I think they'll always exist. I think I agree. And I feel like larger brands will go towards the more centralized route because they can try and find somebody responsible. It might be easier, maybe. Who knows? We're in our infancy, but I think that's a wrap up for today, right, Jeff?
Yep, I think that's all we got. So, like always, thank you guys for being here, and thank you for tuning in. You could follow me on Twitter at CryptoHefe720, and you could follow Drew at Drew Feliciano. You could follow the official FAL Crypto Consultants Twitter at CryptoFAL. FAL is a one-stop shop for all your cryptocurrency needs, from answering questions for new people to bigger institutional clients. We're there for you. Our team houses a wide array of cryptocurrency experts. Go to CryptoFAL.com. That's CryptoFAL.com to learn more.
Bye, guys.